Hello, everybody, and welcome back to When God Writes Your Love Story. Now, previously we talked about Craig's love story on how he met me, and the video before that we talked about my love story when I met Craig. And in Craig's story, I mentioned, or I asked a question, what's the big deal about sex? And I promise you that we're going to be talking more about that. So stay tuned. And when we come back, we're going to jump right into what's the big deal about sex here on When God Writes Your Love Story. And we're back. So, as promised, what's the big deal about sex? And before we get into this, I want to read 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 1 to 6. And it reads, and this is Paul speaking. Now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. The wife had not power of her own body, but the husband, and likewise also the husband had not power of his own body, but the wife. Defraud ye not one the other, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your incontinency. But I speak this by permission, and not of commandment. So, do you want to elaborate on that? We're gonna discuss what's the big deal about sex. What's so funny?
Because it's not just sex; it's sex between married people.
Well,
Not,
yes, it's
not you know.
well, yes.
This is geared towards the married couples because I don't wanna give the wrong impression about sex being for everybody. You know, it was created for married couples. So let me elaborate. Like I mean, it seems as if that these questions came up way before our time because you know how they used to communicate through letters. So Paul was answering questions that were written to him because Paul was very educated, and with the Holy Spirit impartation even made him more like a genius. So, and he himself wasn't married,
I don't think he was ever
No, he
married.
wasn't married. Because at that time, they had that those type of people would be set aside. So let me tell you this. We know that fornication is out there. We know that lust, all them different stuff are out there. So what Paul is saying is a good thing to not be married. But if you cannot control yourself, if you cannot control that fire, you better get married. Why? Because you will avoid fornication, you will avoid adultery.
And that's what verse 2 says. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. He didn't say go and find somebody else's wife or find somebody else's husband when getting married.
I guess you see, I guess that the strong word in those statements was own. You see what I'm saying? Because it's good to always have your what? Your own. Because that means like stuff was happening still Whereas probably there was adultery rampant at that time, so he specified your own, not somebody else's own, not a loner, but your own.
Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband.
So, listen, right? Like I say, I don't, it always puzzles me. Whereas you would have a man saying to the women, a husband saying to the wife, okay, you pay this half of the rent, I pay that half, we splitting the bills them half and half. No, 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 no. A husband is supposed to take care of his wife and his family. He is supposed to take care of all those, all her necessities. Whatever she needs, even if she needs a tampon.
Some men don't like to go in the store together. Well, I wouldn't say, well, men, husband, fall under
No, 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 no. Husband can't fall in the same category as men.
But I mean, true. But so why is like
Eh?
man? But I understand what you're saying.
Because
But why is it that some husbands are afraid to go into the store?
they haven't learned how to care for their wife as yet. And that's it.
But
There's no but.
no, I was gonna say something, but
No, they haven't learned to care for their wife. But like I said, this is a pre.
Wow.
Do you remember this is a pre-show? This is a pre-show. We're not gonna go into all of that now
Mhm.
because this is a long. Because benevolence is something like it's servitude. Like I serve you, you serve me. That's how benevolence is, and it's like honest servitude. Like not feeling that this is not my place to do it, but be taking gratitude in doing it because this is my husband, this is my wife. Taking gratitude in doing it.
So we're gonna go into the 4 and 5th verse, which will come into the question into the question, what's the big deal about sex? The wife had not power of her own body, but the husband, and likewise also the husband had not power of his own body, but the wife. Defraud ye not one the other, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your incontinency.
Okay. Well, as you can see, your body is not yours, and mine is not for me. So whenever I want this apple pie, unless you're gonna be fasting, well,
Or on my cycle.
on your that period where you're bleeding,
Mhm.
that I'm supposed to get this apple pie whenever. What if that wife had to do a 9 to 5 and still come home and take care of business? It's called handling business, handling yours. And that's what marriages entail. I cannot leave my duty for someone else to do. So your body is not yours, mine is not mine. I can't tell you when you said you want, to have some fun. I can't tell you no, because guess what? It's your time. That's what marriage entails. It's your time to please yourself. You might want to please yourself. I might want to please. I mightn't want anything then, but I have to submit and give you.
But on the whole, men.
No, you can't. You can't.
On
speak
the
for me.
whole, men don't get tired.
No,
It's-
you can't. You cannot speak for a man.
Men don't get tired.
You cannot speak for a man.
They always wah 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 wah.
You cannot speak for a man because I guess if they were getting, they went wah 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 wah.
Well, that is true.
So
But-
because that's the thing.
But then what happens to
If you eat food, right? and your belly is full, why would you want?
True.
Okay.
But your
That
belly
re-
is never full.
So that means people belly never full once they eat then.
Craig, you know what I'm talking
I
about.
do not know what you're talking about.
So Paul is saying only when one is fasting and praying, you're not supposed to touch.
What do you think about that?
I mean, that's fair enough. But but you have to tell the other.
Yeah.
You just
That
can't.
you're about to go into fasting and
Yeah,
you know.
so you can't just go into.
And
say,
we have
okay,
to agree. Actually, as we say, we have to agree. Because
So
we have to agree.
so for example, so if I decide to fast and pray, let's say today, and I tell you that I'm planning on fasting and praying about 5 o'clock today.
That can't work like that. It can't work like that. I mean, we have to agree. Because like I can say, your body is not yours. You have to ask for permission. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. When I pay my 25, that's why I always make that joke with you. When I pay my $25 for this marriage certificate, I paid a lot. I own you. I own you.
So $25.
$25.
But divorce is like $2,500.
No, sir, $25.
So the world definitely talks about sex a lot, but most Christians don't realize that the Bible also puts a heavy emphasis on sex. Why is it so important?
Because sex bonds. That's why they say, don't do anything until you're married, because you never know how a relationship will go. Don't have sex until you're married. Because I mean, two. The other thing is, if you realize, Paul said, give. They basically say, give your man, give your woman before the devil comes around and tempts them.
Yeah.
So if you withhold it from your husband or you withhold it from your wife, eventually they're gonna be tempted. They're gonna be you leaving them out to be like swim around with sharks, and then you expect them to be, so committed and so solely to you, but you're not doing your dues. You're not paying your dues. You see what I'm saying? So that's why Paul specifically said, before they get tempted, they fall into temptation. Because these are things that happen. These are things that, that messes up marriages. So that's why sex is a very, very important, a very vital, because it bonds you. You're passing a spiritual connection when you have sex. You check.
And this is why it's very important to have sex only at marriage. Now, the question that I would like you guys to ponder on is, how are you and your spouse doing in the application of 1 Corinthians 7:3-6? What do you hope God will do in your marriage? And with that said, I think we're out of time. Do you have anything else to say?
As usual, no.
No?
I don't.
Well, that's all the time we have, and we'll be back for another episode of When God Writes Your Love Story.
Indeed, you can love me